It's official. Johnny Somali's family has completely cut him off, and what they're saying behind closed doors is absolutely devastating. This isn't just another internet drama anymore. We're talking about a complete family implosion that's left one of the most controversial streamers in the world completely broke, desperate, and begging for help from the very people he destroyed. Nobody knew what to make of it when Johnny first started his chaotic streaming career, but his own father's words will leave your jaw on the floor. "You caused the whole world stress. I'm ashamed to be your father." That's not tabloid speculation. That's a direct quote from the man who raised him. And it gets so much worse from there. The stakes couldn't be higher, with Johnny facing his final trial next month and potentially years in Korean prison. His desperate attempts to get financial support have been met with radio silence from his own blood. Sources close to the family reveal they've completely disowned him, and the reasons why are more shocking than anyone expected. This isn't just about streaming controversies anymore. This is about a family watching their son self-destruct in real time while the entire world watches. Let's rewind a bit, because the full story of how Johnny Somali went from family disappointment to complete pariah is darker than most people realize. Long before he was terrorizing Japan and Korea with his disrespectful antics, Johnny was already causing chaos at home in Arizona. Here's what's really going down behind the scenes. According to multiple sources familiar with the family situation, Johnny's destructive behavior started years ago. We're talking about a pattern of betrayal, theft, and manipulation that his own parents couldn't ignore anymore. The breaking point? Johnny allegedly stole $30,000 from his own grandparents, money that was specifically given to his father to take care of him. "I stole $30,000 that my grandparents actually gave to my dad to take care of me. I stole $30,000, ran away," Johnny admitted on stream, seemingly without any remorse. That's not speculation anymore. That's a confession straight from his own mouth. But the family trauma goes even deeper. Insiders reveal that Johnny's mother was so concerned about his behavior that she took him to a psychiatrist in Arizona. The professional's recommendation? Laser shock treatment. The psychiatrist in Arizona was telling my mom that they need to laser shock my head to see what the fuck is wrong with me, Johnny revealed during one of his streams. Think about that for a second. A medical professional looked at this young man and determined his behavior was so concerning that extreme intervention was necessary. His own mother was desperate enough to consider it. But instead of getting the help he clearly needed, Johnny ran away with stolen money and turned his dysfunction into content. The family's patience finally reached its breaking point when Johnny's international incidents started making global headlines. Sources close to the situation reveal that his parents watched in horror as their son disrespected entire cultures, got arrested multiple times, and turned their family name into a worldwide embarrassment. But here's where it gets even darker. Johnny's father didn't just express disappointment. He delivered what can only be described as a nuclear-level emotional devastation. "My family disowned me. My dad told me, 'You caused the whole world stress. I'm ashamed to be your father,'" Johnny revealed during an emotional breakdown on stream. The most chilling part? His father went even further, telling Johnny he doesn't want him to have children. Ever. "The only thing I'm really tripping over is because my dad told me he does not want me to have kids," Johnny admitted, clearly shaken by the conversation. That's not just disappointment. That's a complete rejection of Johnny's future and legacy. His own father looked at what his son had become and decided the family line should end with him. The silence from Johnny after revealing this speaks volumes. For someone who usually deflects everything with jokes and bravado, this clearly struck a nerve he couldn't protect. Then came the nuclear moment when Johnny's financial desperation became impossible to hide. With his streaming platforms banning him left and right, his income completely dried up. Sources familiar with his situation reveal he's now completely dependent on Hank Yu, a friend who's been funding his legal battles and basic survival. But even that lifeline is crumbling. Insiders claim Hank's own family is pressuring him to cut Johnny off, threatening to withdraw their support if he continues funneling money to someone they see as a lost cause. Hank thinks it's a good idea to continue to pay for him, even though it's destroying his life as well because he's being supported by his family, according to sources close to the situation. Here's what makes this even more devastating. Johnny allegedly reached out to his family for financial help as his trial approaches, and they completely refused. Not just declined, refused. After years of chaos, theft, and global embarrassment, his own parents have decided they're done enabling his destructive behavior. If you're finding this story as shocking as we are, make sure to hype this video and give it points. This is the kind of truth that needs to be shared. The mainstream media won't tell you these details, but the real story of how someone can destroy every relationship in their life is something everyone needs to understand. But that's not even the most shocking part. The psychological evaluation Johnny received years ago is now looking prophetic. Mental health professionals saw the warning signs early, but instead of getting treatment, Johnny turned his dysfunction into a career. The very behaviors that concerned his family became his brand. Sources close to content creators covering Johnny's situation reveal that even other streamers are concerned about his mental state. Things have gotten so much worse for the disrespectful IRL streamer because now he's basically banned on every streaming platform. So because of that, he has no real way of making any decent money, according to creators who've been following his downfall. The pattern is undeniable. Johnny has systematically destroyed every support system in his life: family, friends, platforms, and now even his financial benefactor is under pressure to abandon him. This isn't just about streaming controversies anymore. This is about a complete life implosion. What's particularly chilling is how Johnny himself seems to recognize the self-destructive pattern, but feels powerless to stop it. Live streaming is bringing more problems to my life than benefits, with my relationships with other people in life. My family to this day, they don't like me doing this live streaming. They think it's terrible. They think it's self-destructive, and to a point, I think it is self-destructive, he admitted during a rare moment of clarity. But here's the most devastating revelation. Even with this self-awareness, Johnny has chosen to double down on the very behavior that destroyed his family relationships. Yeah, I'm gonna just go back to crashing out. Y'all don't like me anyways. I'll make a new family, he declared after his father's brutal rejection. That response tells you everything you need to know. Instead of seeking help or making amends, Johnny's reaction to losing his family was to become even more destructive. It's a textbook case of someone choosing chaos over healing. This isn't just about one troubled streamer anymore. Johnny Somali's story has become a cautionary tale about what happens when mental health issues, family dysfunction, and internet fame collide in the worst possible way. The ripple effects are being felt across the streaming community, with platforms implementing stricter policies and creators questioning the ethics of monetizing destructive behavior. Industry insiders are calling this a watershed moment. The complete breakdown of Johnny's support system, family, friends, platforms, and finances, is forcing uncomfortable conversations about responsibility, intervention, and the limits of enabling destructive content creation. Content creators who once found Johnny's chaos entertaining are now stepping back. The reality of watching someone destroy their entire life in real time has lost its appeal. Sources familiar with the streaming community reveal that many creators are privately expressing concern about the ethics of covering Johnny's continued downfall. The broader implications are staggering. Johnny's story is becoming a case study in how internet fame can amplify and monetize mental health crises instead of addressing them. His family's complete rejection isn't just personal. It's a statement about accountability and consequences that resonates far beyond one dysfunctional family. What's coming next is anyone's guess, but the signs aren't promising. With his trial approaching next month, no family support, dwindling financial resources, and a completely burned reputation, Johnny is facing the consequences of years of destructive choices with nowhere left to run. The silence from his family speaks volumes. After years of chaos, theft, and global embarrassment, they've made their position crystal clear. They're done. No more money, no more support, no more enabling. Johnny Somali is truly on his own. And maybe that's exactly what needed to happen. Sometimes the most loving thing a family can do is stop enabling destructive behavior, even when it means watching someone you raised hit rock bottom. The question now is whether Johnny will use this isolation as a wake-up call or continue his spiral into complete self-destruction. One thing's for certain, this story is far from over, and what happens next will determine whether Johnny Somali becomes a cautionary tale of redemption or a tragic example of what happens when someone chooses chaos over healing.